I just don't eat.
She just refuses to eat food.
It's not even a refusal. It's just like I forget, and I don't care.
It's like there's like 3 things you have to do to live, like breathe, eat, drink, and she barely does.
I eat Starbucks.
That's not eating. No. You eat.
It's 400 calories.
No. When she says this, she's talking about a frappuccino, which is not food. This is just sugar, water, caffeine. Robbie, hit the button so we can chastise Maura during the show.
I'm getting chastised enough on the internet right now. Thank you.
For the abortion thing or whatever it is, which has nothing to do with anything.
I'm like, I didn't say I did it. I'm saying it should be an option.
They're just Russian bots. They're everywhere, man.
No Prince hoodie?
What?
No Prince hoodie?
Prince is trying to like buy a house. He has a whole bunch of things going on. Anyway, welcome, lovers and friends. It's me, your boy, Miss Everybody, and I'm joined today by my co-host,
Mar.
And we're joined by friend of the show, author, Jackass, motivational speaker, skateboarder, recovery house owner, and man who pushed my fat ass to run my first 5K in about a decade, Brandon Novak. How you doing, Brandon?
We crossed the finish line together.
Yeah.
That was a serious bonding moment in our lives.
Yeah,
I gained a whole newfound respect for you, and I think vice versa, maybe.
I did not think, like I was like running, and I used to be a big runner. It's been like a decade since I ran. And I stopped. I was like, I'm just going to walk because I'm going at a pretty good pace. And then I saw Brandon Novak running. I said, there's no fucking chance that old motherfucker who has to have plenty of, I'm guessing, broken bones. And
Brandon has a six-pack.
I'm not saying, but he's old, and I'm not saying.
Let's call a spade a spade.
My resume to that point read 22 years of alcoholism and addiction.
So I was like, there's no way.
IV heroin user for 16 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Previously hepatitis C owner.
Yeah.
Not a great look. And then the one thing heroin did for me is it kind of like Benjamin Buttoned me. It paused me in time. And it allowed me to pick up where I left off with using. And then when I got in the gym, I was able to just kind of like, I'd like to believe, age backwards.
You do look good for you. What are you, 44, you said?
4. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Or 5. One of the two.
Not sure.
I was either
Again, a lot of drugs and alcohol.
To my credit, I was born in 78 or 77. My birth certificate says one thing, my ID says the other, and my mother doesn't recall. So I've always went with the earlier.
What?
Yeah.
So your mom has no idea. Was she?
Yeah, true story.
Was she addicted to it? Like how did?
No, my home life was just pretty fucking chaotic. My father was insane. He was a Hell's Angels guy, and he made a lot of meth at the house, and he grew a lot of herb in the basement. And we lived on this rancher, and that's where all the bikers would hang, and do what they do.
Yeah, you were the hang house. I was the hang house.
When I came home one day from school, and my mother was always working, and because my father was around kind of just enough to let us know he wasn't around. And one day, she happened to come home early, and he, as per usual, was on the back porch where him and all his biker buddies would hang, which was cool. And he had these papers drafted up. And he said, Brandon, come here. And I literally have the pen in my hand, and I'm signing a piece of paper. My mother walks in, and she said, Rome, what are you doing? And he was insane. Yeah. He was certifiably insane, delusional on meth and a lot of other drugs. And she comes over, and she looks at the paper, and he had went to his attorney, Jerry C0cks, and had these papers drafted to have my name changed to Jerome Novak. So if my mother would have walked in fucking 10 minutes later, you'd be talking to Jerome right now.
When did you realize?
How old were you?
8.
When did you realize?
At 8 years old. How do you reverse the fucking effects of being Brandon for 8 years?
Remix?
Yeah, totally.
Like what?
So Jerome, when did you realize that your dad was addicted to drugs and you realized what drugs are?
Oh, young. Because my father, I believe I was genetically predisposed to my whole deal. My father was an addict, and his father suffered with alcoholism. And as a kid, my dad would take me, and my dad also had another kid who he also named Jerome. I was the only one that didn't get it, I swear to God. And the other one, Jerome, my other brother, who was by a different mother, those two were kind of thick as thieves, and they would drive around, and they would sell a lot of drugs together. And they'd put me in the seat because my father would watch me while my mother was working all day. And we'd go around to the strip joints, and they would kind of be in the back conducting their business. And they would sit me at this, with the dancing girls would watch me, and then they would kind of like sit me at the bar, and they would pour shots of ginger ale and Coca-Cola in the glasses, and I would do those, right? So I was kind of like
teaching you,
groomed, if you will, unbeknownst to me. So, from a really young age, I remembered like things weren't right, and I always smelled herb. And I remember driving, and I'd be in the backseat watching them, and they would like pass the joint below the dashboard. I was pretty inquisitive as a kid to my surroundings.
So they were still kind of trying to hide it, because
from the police, not me.
Oh, okay. Because like growing up, like even me, like if I drink around my nephews or my nieces, I'll say it's just spicy soda, or it's an adult drink. You know what I mean? So they don't know what it is, and they don't want to try it if it's spicy. But they were just telling you that.
They were far past that point. It was just really for self-preservation, so they didn't get arrested. Yeah. And I remember one time, my father used to pay this guy that worked for the BG&E, because I was in Baltimore, the Baltimore Gas and Electric, which I guess here is like PennDOT or whatever. And he would pay, the whole basement was just, before growing herb was legal, he had like a major green thumb, and he had these humongous greenhouses. And he would pay them to come out and put this like piece of copper in the thing that reads the meter to see how high, to keep the police away. And he would build these secret rooms. And one day again, when my mother's at work, he would always fucking do these things when my mother's at work.
Yeah, of course.
He decided he was going to sell this house, which was not in the plan anyway. So he
was it in his name?
No, it was just it was strange. He didn't have the ability to sell it. I don't know if it was in his name or both, but he couldn't just do that. And he brings this real estate agent over, and he's like, "Do not say a word about the rooms downstairs." So I, of course, immediately want to show this woman the room.
But look at this.
And
there's actually a dungeon downstairs. Come check it out. It's through this
You hear
bookcase.
screaming, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
This is fucking S&M at its finest.
So you have a lot of titles. What's the fucking favorite thing that you do?
Me? Now?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
What, like for self-care?
Self-care. So you are...
Titles or tunnels?
Titles, bro.
I think you're talking about the basement.
You got a lot of tunnels. You got a lot of tunnels downstairs. Do you have tunnels too?
It gets weird.
Mind your business.
What happens at the Novak house?
All right. I'm going to bring this back in. What
is your favorite thing that you do? Because you have so many different titles.
Honestly, it's just, for me, and it sounds so cliche, it's because I think I say it a lot, but it's my recovery is my favorite title. Because with that, it's allowed me to like literally
do everything.
Achieve everything that I always wanted, believed, and never even thought was possible. Like I legit right now could leave here and I could be a brain surgeon. And I know that. Like it's not even a question of could I or self-doubt, and it's because of what I've achieved to this point. And ironically, it's nothing that I've done. Like it's not of my creation. I'm not to take credit for it. I just simply was the student that was ready, and the teacher appeared, and because I was willing to fucking buy into a different way of life, because mine didn't work, and that all stemmed from just failing miserably and just being in a place where the pain was so unbearable. I dumbed my way into this, and that's what my sobriety is, and it's cool because it takes me back to my spirituality. But the longer that I stay sober, what I know is that I have no fucking idea. And the longer I do this, the freer I become, because I'm not trying to control or create a specific outcome that I believe is the most beneficial for me, which is terrible because that's what my disease is I'm selfish and I'm self-centered. So it's generally me, and if I have 2 minutes, you, but only if it's going to benefit me. So the longer that I come in this thing like with an open mind and no expectations, seeking out specific results, I can't fail. Right? It's just dumbing my way into it.
Yeah. So you seem super busy. Like I said, you have a lot of titles. Do you have all these things to try to get away from your addiction so your mind's always busy so you're not thinking of the next drug?
No. I do.
His concept of self is just different now. I feel like you like don't identify. It's not that you're like don't identify with like addiction, but you more identify with recovery.
Yeah. Well,
does that make sense?
To me, alcoholism and addiction is so far removed for me at this very moment. Okay, so I've ended up in these, which you might not get into, but I've kind of gotten to a different level with specific podcasts that are happening. So now I have like a podcast publicist and an agent who pitches me to these like top tier podcasts.
Right.
And they're starting to book these after like the Bert Kreischer one I got. So it kind of put me in a different tier.
Yeah, yeah.
And in doing that, he actually reached out to me yesterday. He said, look, I have 2 inquiries of these people that want to have you on, and they're in Vegas. Is that a good place for you to be? And I'm like,
no.
Vegas is the equivalent to like this basement or fucking Hawaii.
It's like wherever you are, you are.
I am. So I'm so far removed from being triggered by a drink or a drug that like.
Because you already decided.
Yeah, and now.
And you decide every day.
It shows through like other ways, such as my behaviors.
So what's the difference between something like the Bertcast that you were on, which was a fucking awesome episode, by the way, and this? Is there a huge difference? Viewers,
That's
like,
it.
But what about like behind the scenes? Is there anything that like?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a big team, right?
Well, yeah, there was like there's like a house in the hills that's just for the podcast. That's so he has one, his wife has one, the business partner has one, and then I went and I did Jack Osborne's, which was, and same deal. They had this building in Hollywood, but like a business building, and they had a whole floor. And he has a podcast, his sister has a podcast, Ozzy and his wife has so it's just, but in doing them, there's this like, so when I did Bert's, we were doing it here, and then there was like 4 guys that I didn't really see that were editing it, that were doing the angles that he'd say like, cut, I don't want this in the show. I want
he cuts live, and then they kind of.
I guess he would talk and they would listen. So I don't know what that's above my pay grade. that's above my pay grade. I just fucking.
So it's not like so much freeform.
Well, it's freeform, but like he'd like, I don't want this in there.
Right.
And that was written.
That's actually probably more like.
And that was about when he was talking about specific people, like that shouldn't have been, that
brought
don't
up.
want to be aired out.
Right.
I had somebody comment on the last episode that you were on. Novak seems uninterested here because he's on his phone. I was like, we don't cut things out like other podcasts do. Like if somebody like this is, as you see this happening, we're not cutting anything out unless somebody were to say something crazy, which probably hasn't happened in 100 episodes.
You'll never please the masses.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's going to say I look uninterested because I drank water.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? I mean,
but he also says he's addicted and he's looking for to reach out to somebody. So after I asked him, why are you? It's a long comment thing if you go watch the other episode.
Well, also it's just like the lens at which you're looking through like life.
Yeah,
like he's probably just struggling through his existence anyway. So then it's like whatever he views, he's gonna find like things.
What we were talking about on
in
the way
car.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right. It's whatever. If I'm having a specific feeling as a direct result of what I'm doing, right? An outcome connected to this. It has nothing to do with this. It comes from a pre-existing experience that I had that left me feeling a certain way that then carries over to this. It's not real.
That's like the next fairy garden drop is this. It's like past, and then there's an equal sign, and there's an X through the equal sign. It's like your past doesn't equal your future. Like if you allow for it to not.
Do you just take shrooms and come up with this shit?
We actually talked about it the whole way here.
Shrooms?
No, we didn't talk about shrooms. We're just talking about. He gets in my brain. I'm like, yes, I like the way he thinks because he knows what I'm saying. But no, I just think because you just get in these like. Patterns of things. It's like, oh, well, this happened to me one time and you were so emotionally like triggered in that moment that you're just like expecting that now for the next time that you do X, Y, or Z. Like we were just in the car and he didn't even know like that we were merging and the guy behind us like didn't like that he merged in front of him rather than behind him. And the guy was like freaking out in the rear view, but we were like in our little car of just like like happy good vibes, and then he like looks back, he's like, oh, that guy's like having a hard time.
Would you get recognized right now? Like if you got out of your car, especially around here, do you think he would recognize that you're Brandon Novak because this is so close to where everything kind of started for you?
I mean,
do you get recognized when you go out to dinner and stuff?
You know what's interesting more again with that, the cool thing about this new kind of element of podcast that I'm getting into. Once you kind of get into one, you kind of get branched out to these other ones. But it's not my particular wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. So it really does wonders for my agenda, right? What I'm pushing, what I'm promoting, which is a better, healthier way of life and access and availability to it. So now at the gym, I'm not like, it's weird to say that I'm a gym guy, but I was never a gym guy my whole life.
Gym bro.
I know, right? And I go to the gym, but guys that like, you know, coming up, going from the skateboarding world to the Jackass world to like the punk scene, like the bros weren't really in my repertoire. That's wrong. But now I go to the gym and they're like, dude, and that's
Bertcast,
not my normal thing, but it's a really rad thing because like hopefully this net that I'm casting is just reaching a broader audience.
Yeah, it definitely
does. Which is
does.
really cool. And so I'm coming back to say that I get recognized more now for what I'm doing than the shit I did then when I was doing it.
Right.
Oh,
I think that you talked about on the way here. You know, a lot of people seem to be maybe getting sober or drinking less.
Right.
I think when I was
like you see what you look for.
Yeah, and when I was doing it, like in my era, it was fucking like the skate punk scene, and you fucking live fast, die young, and this is till the wheels fall off. Things evolve, people change, and I think today, especially after like COVID and all these like trying dark times where the government said isolation, disconnect, you know,
be scared.
Yeah, people are looking for like a positive, healthy outlet and some form of community and just a better mentality. And I think from what I see, at least maybe because I surround myself with it, it's people that kind of veer away from like, you know, the narrative and the agendas that specific news outlets put out to have you buying into certain beliefs because it goes so deep with the financially backed motives and it's just agendas, political. So I think now people are just, at least again what I see, and I kind of create the environment that I seek, are people that are just genuinely, you know, wanting to better themselves, and that's who I surround myself with. When people come around me and they're just different, and there's no right or wrong way to be. I accept everyone for who they are, and everyone's process is entitled to their own process. But my energy kind of reflects it immediately. It doesn't even. It just drains me. It drains me, and you know that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Because before I used to fucking, you know, drink bottles of wine like it was water and shoot speedballs of heroin and cocaine and eat whatever I felt whenever I felt. Now if I fucking eat a hamburger, I would get sick, right? Like if I drank a soda, I would probably maybe throw up. And I like that fucking juxtaposition.
Yeah, feels better. So what was it like growing up and getting famous with your friends? Speaking about your group changing, your groups, I guess you guys all met in high school or middle school, right? Most of you guys like the CKY guys?
Well, I was from Baltimore, and I had known Bam from skateboarding, and I was from Baltimore with another pro skater, Bucky Lasik, who's like a legend in his own right. And Bucky took me under his wing, and we would come to Pennsylvania to skate at this skate park called C0cks, and that's where I'd met Bam. And when I saw Bam, I was like, fuck, this kid's going to be a problem, because he was just like me. We looked alike, we dressed alike, we talked alike, we acted alike, and we skated just alike. And we were very consistent skaters and contest skaters. And long story short, we would practice for this contest every year that took place in Bricktown, New Jersey, the NSA's National Skateboarding Association. And either I would win or he would win year after year after year. And one year I didn't show up, but Bucky did, and Bam was there. And Bam's like, yo, where's Novak? And Bucky says to Bam, I think he's on heroin. And Bam says, what's that? Because he's still so young, he doesn't even fucking...
Wait, what is the age difference between you guys?
A year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but I started drugs like at a very young age.
Early,
and
right.
He was so consumed with skateboarding, like, why would he know? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so his career continued to excel. He had made a CKY video, made his first $1 million off that, and started to like then do CKY 2.
Yeah.
And Viva La Bam was in talks. And then I decided to pursue heroin. So, I mean, the logical.
Same.
Right?
They both make people happy. Yeah, you can't deny that.
They do. They really do. Until one doesn't anymore.
Right.
You look so sad. They do. They really do.
I went back. You see that?
Do heroin again.
I teleported back. You just triggered me to fucking get high. There it goes.
You will never see Novak again. This podcast will be back selling his dick.
Selling his dick is crazy.
That's it, man. That's where we go. 0 to 100.
Oh my God.
So was it weird hearing people? So now you're famous. People know who you are. Is it weird people saying, I grew up watching you? Or I was always a big fan of you growing up?
I was talking to a kid today, and he's coming to my treatment center. And he's coming from another treatment center. So he was on the fence. He wanted to either come to mine or a place in Virginia. So I get on the phone with him, and I said, are you aware of me, who I am, what I do, what my mission calls is? And he said, I don't know much about your recovery, but I was born in the 90s, and I grew up watching you. And I said, well, let me stop you there and apologize, because that's probably largely why you're sitting in a fucking detox.
You're like, definitely contributing factor.
Totally. So it's cool, man. But what it's done, right, is because I learned that everything is perspective. Everything in my life. How do I view it? Is it why me, or why the fuck not me? Am I the victim in this, or what? So what I know to be true now is that looking back and recognizing the synchronicity in life's events that have led me here and now proved to me how powerful my higher power is and how much more he's been doing for me way longer than I could ever conceive. But what happened is I know for a fact that I went through what I went through to be blessed with the ability to build this rather large platform of notoriety, and my public fucking demise with my addiction in the books and the tabloids and whatever, to be blessed with sobriety, make it through that, and now turn that defect of mine into my asset, meaning that I have now taken the poison that killed me as medicine to save me, but not only me, but thousands and thousands of others. So it's all just a shift in perspective.
Have you seen like a lot of your castmates reach out to you now that have been on Secret Live Jackass?
Totally.
They reach out to you for guidance?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So are you now a leader in that regard amongst those people?
I wouldn't say leader. That's then like differentiating me from anyone else, which is the opposite of addiction is connection. So together we do this. So there's really no leader in
I feel like it's like you're an example.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people will be like they look at things and it's like, oh, like you kind of like beat the odds in a sense, and it's like, yeah, okay, if I did it, anyone could then.
And that's exactly it, right? Depending on the perspective of which you view this situation, mine per se, the demographic that I'm relatable to, skateboarding, fucking punk scene, drug scene, all of us, that demographic, are defiant by nature. They hate authority. They refuse to conform, right? Anarchy at its fucking finest. And we all pretty much like have an idea that we know what's best for us. So understanding that, what I do, again, coming back to perspective, I use my platforms, my social media combined, and deliver my message, hopefully in a form of attraction rather than promotion.
Right.
And I try to deliver it in a way that it's so like desirable, so appealing, and so attractive, so much so that like, if I can get people to want it so bad that they like want to fuck it, then, and they're become willing to do anything to obtain that, then their lives will change. Like the terms of their contract will forever change. But I have to it's all fucking sleight of hand, smoke and mirrors, because we all want the same outcome, but it just has to be delivered in an appropriate manner.
Right.
So it's just understanding.
If you get sober, you can come on the show too.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. What I know is that if you get sober, you too could become a brain surgeon like I could become.
Right. Well, that's like, people
could
always
just
feel
go
like, oh, it's you're like, for instance, like when I'm talking to guys, a lot of times, like if I talk about like open relationships and things, guys will be like, well, you're the exception. And it's like, I'm not an exception. It's like an example. And if it's like, if one person can do it, it's like,
yes.
It's just proof that it's possible for anybody else to do it.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't believe in exceptions. Like it's examples.
Yes. I agree 100%.
Or like, maybe I do believe in exceptions and I would favor the exception over the rule, honestly, because I'm just like, I know it exists and could happen for anybody.
Are you into that, Novak? Open relationship?
Yeah, I think I am. But my problem is I don't like to define it as that because I don't like confrontation and I'm a people pleaser. So therefore, I never want to like offend or hurt anybody, and I don't enjoy having that conversation. So I don't do that. And
so you just hope the girl brings it up?
Yeah, or just like kind of really hoping
you just like enjoy people in the moment.
Yeah, and hope that it like if it becomes a thing. What I don't do is place unrealistic expectations of myself onto somebody else, right? So I'll never be like, I am going to be your fucking knight in shining armor, and we are going to ride into the sunset together, and no man will ever fucking treat you the way I will. I will not do that. Right. You know, that's just not fair to either. That's like a lot of pressure
for you too.
Well, I know that I will never live up to that. I know that.
Well, and it's like different people offer different things.
So I just kind of state that like I'm a single man. I'm a single man for a reason. I really am selfish with my time, and I really enjoy it. And I'm a great person. I'm a great friend. And if there's things that come along with that friendship, fuck yeah. And if there isn't, that's amazing too. We'll just remain friends.
So what's your craziest kink?
Dude, you'd think I'd have like a gnarly kink, but I like to talk dirty. I like really kind of. I think mild.
What's like a dirty? Like how do you dirty talk?
Well, that's just would sound really awkward in this setting with
Maura's sitting right there. I'm right here. I'm here for you.
You know, I was in a porn once. I did a porn.
Were you really?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Was it your fault for being bad?
Oh yeah, it was fully using. That was fucking horrible. But the funny story about this story is that I do this porn and they get me for my name, right?
Yeah.
And the porn takes place.
I think you told me
this. Yeah, I did. In Bam's skateboard, and it's like Gina Lynn and Travis Knight, like pretty.
Are you fucking in this, or are you just going back? Okay.
No, I'd fuck and
I fuck.
But I wish that I fucked as good as I say I fucked.
Right.
Not true. So the storyline is I'm going to do a 900 on this vert wall. Now I'm fucking.
What is a 900?
It's like a trick that Tony Hawk.
Oh, with a skateboard.
Invented. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a sexual.
This is what I was gonna say. A 6900. A 6900.
Like,
that's the only thing that got her attention in this whole podcast. A 900.
I'm like, never heard of
that.
Fucking I guess if the woman's small enough and you're big enough, you could turn her into a 900.
Oh man.
Okay.
Options are endless.
So wait, you were gonna do a 900 naked? Is that what the idea was?
On this wall, but I'm like high as Fat Charles' ass. I haven't skated in years. I live to fucking do drugs at this point. And storyline is I do a 900, but I break my pelvis, right? And
so
then when I break my pelvis, these fucking nurses come in this doom buggy and they pick me up from the ground, and they got like the hot nurse porn outfits, and they put me in the back of this doom buggy and they take me up to the top of this A-frame, where they then, in turn, just fucking go to work, right? They're sucking, fucking, and it's just like a full-on porn. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like a paycheck because they're going to give me a few grand. For them, it's a total job, and they're over it. But I'm like so high on so many opiates that it kind of acts as like a blocker. You can't really come, right? So my dick is hard, and I'm fucking, but I'm not coming. And the girls are like really over it. I just want the money.
Wait, you have to nut in order to get the check?
Well, it's kind of the point of the porn.
And how do I get this drug that I can not come from?
Yeah. You just take either Prozac, Adderall, or opiates.
Don't do drugs, kids, but if you don't want to come, I mean, I'm having
Trust me.
But I'm sorry, go on. So
finally, when I'm like getting ready to come, the camera people have checked out. Everyone's just like fucking riding the clock, and I'm like trying to make this happen. So I'm getting ready to do it. Money shots happening. Everyone's like, now they're interested. They're enthused. And they're waiting for
He's gonna come.
They're waiting for fireworks to shoot out of my cock. Bar none. Fucking like fireworks.
Yeah.
And literally it just goes
Drop the rock.
Like barely, like you maybe even on this black thing you might not even see like how much came out. So then
wait, how can we find this video?
It gets better. Believe it or not, it gets better. And this is kind of my claim to fame.
There's more.
This is my claim to fame. If you can't tell, I kind of used to live my life by setting the bar really low. Yeah, so, like, if I woke up, I would get a standing applause.
Right.
But, so the next day, they're like, we're going to do another scene. We'll do another one. And I'm engaged at this time. But this is before, like, phones are, like, a big thing. So, I'm like, now I've come. I'm having that clarity of how fucked I am. Yeah. And but then they're like, we're doing them on. And I'm like, dude, it was sick. I'm sorry. Fuck it. I'll do it. I'm in. I talked them into let me do it again. And this is the real claim to fame. Same thing happens. I can't come. I can say, in 100% truth and honesty, I had a stunt cock come for me in a porn.
A stunt cock come in. How close was it to your real cock?
Fucking
that's kind of hard. Yeah, I'm like that because like
I was unkept. I'm a fucking like 140-pound heroin addict that just literally was sunk in three. I was almost invisible, and then all like unshaven, just like fucking.
You're like, let's go.
And then you get this like fucking clean, burly, buff professional porn star who like gets his asshole bleached and fucking shaves every hair on his body, and it's just this massive like dildo cock. It was impressive. And mine was just like, yeah.
So you talked about post-cum clarity, which we all know about. Not everyone knows about waking up the next day after taking drugs clarity. Is there a similar feeling to when you wake up, when you were just on a bender, drinking, doing drugs, and you wake up and go, I shouldn't have done that? Or is it just...
Well, it depends on, for me, and the level that I had reached.
Right.
That's why I continuously got high and got loaded, was to escape the reality that I had created for myself.
So it wasn't
every time I would I'd wake up and I'd be hit with that moment of clarity, what my life really looked like and how bad it really became as a direct result of my addiction. I would get high and without fail, I would get high, I would get drunk, and this delusional effect was produced every time, which then in turn would make me escape my reality. Mm-hmm. So it was just this disconnection that was taking place forever. Mm-hmm. So the only reprieve that I got was like sleeping. That was peace. That was like nice. And then as soon as my eyes opened, A, I dreaded the fact that they fucking opened. And then B, it was like, how do we get the money? How do we make this happen?
Do you think you were trying to kill yourself? Because I remember when I was an alcoholic after my divorce, right?
Yeah.
I don't have an addictive personality. I don't have to drink at all. I'm fine with it. But I was actively drinking every day in a way to try to kill myself. Were you doing the same thing?
I didn't want to kill myself because I knew that my game was going to play out one of two ways. Either I would get sober or I would die in the process of, meaning an overdose, not an intentional death. Mm-hmm. I knew that I was capable of producing way fucking better results than what I was accepting at that point in time. But also what I was accepting at that point in time was really fucking fun, right? Like
fake dicks everywhere.
I'm fucking traveling the world. I go to different countries. I fucking did some of the best.
It's not a bad situation.
Yeah, I did some of the best things of my life, becoming a kind of a household name on a fucking TV show that's insanely successful all the way around the world. I get paid rather well for it. Right. I would go back and do it all again. I don't regret it. And
how much would you make off an episode of Viva La Band?
Well, you know what's funny is when and this is in the Streets of Baltimore book that just came out in audio, which I narrated. If you care to fucking,
it's an amazing book. I listened. It was great.
But you heard it in that, right?
And I keep giving you compliments. And you don't fucking accept them. Do you have a problem accepting my compliments?
I just don't. Compliments are strange to me. I'm not if you notice, when someone will give me a present, I have to say why I didn't get them one.
I listened to Novak's book, and he was just on the show, and I listened to it after he was on the show the first time, and I reached out. I was like, "Yeah, that was a fucking great book. He has a great voice for audio recording. He does an amazing job.
Very attentive.
Yes." And
just it's a fan.
No response.
I like that.
No response.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of questions about the book we're going to get into later, and it goes with your voice.
But before you continue to give me these fucking compliments would clearly make me very fucking weird.
With your fake dick,
we're going to move on. I'd rather talk about fucking stunt cocks and not being able to come.
What's the worst?
I'm comfortable there. Let's stay away from the fucking compliments.
Was that the worst sex you ever had? Was
the worst sex? No, sex wasn't really my thing. It didn't matter. I partied and it was whatever. It wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. So what's the best sex you've ever had?
Big fan.
Do you have the best sex you ever had?
I did have an amazing threesome when I was getting loaded that I do recall sometimes and think about. Not as much now, but when I was incarcerated, it was great because it was the mental Rolodex, and I would jerk off to that.
Were both girls super hot, or was one fat?
No, they were both super hot, and they were down for the cause.
Was it because they were fans of you?
Well, they were at the house partying, and they were down for the party, and they were fun. They were fun. They were great women too. I would never disrespect them. But it wasn't about like the fucking. It was just about like fucking blow and threesomes and like riding the 4-wheelers naked and fucking naked pool parties and hot tubs and more blow and rock music and more blow. You know,
dude, everything's funnier when people are naked. I don't know why. It's just funny.
Funnier or funny?
Fun. Yeah, I heard fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like,
for guys,
why is it funny?
For guys, it's funnier. For girls, it's fun.
See, I'm like yesterday. For girls, it is fun. Yeah, like I have Jules on a whole kick right now. Like when we get excited, we'll just like flash each other, like ah, and she's like, "This is so liberating." Like I never knew.
Gonna fly on a fucking wall. You know
she's like, I didn't know that this was like such a freeing feeling. I'm like, yes. And then yesterday I was at Barstool working, and this girl got excited, and she literally flashed, and I was like, oh, "You flash when you're excited?" She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Let's go."
If me and Novak did that,
that's amazing.
Hands behind the back, I'll fucking rest it.
No, right because it's like it's not that deep. Like it's just like funny.
So if I pull my dick out right now, it'd be funny.
No,
See,
it was like also energy with.
What if Novak pulled his dick out though?
I think
it'd be awkward and weird.
You
all parties involved.
Do you have a fake cock one right now?
I wish.
But like boobs are different than penises.
Yeah, men's bodies are not attractive.
That's why they're funnier.
David Beckham, he's fucking hot. He was like when he's in his heyday.
Chris Hemsworth, super hot.
I don't know the name. I don't know. If I saw him,
don't get Justin started.
You know what Thor is, right?
Yeah.
That's Chris
Well,
Hemsworth.
if he was gay, it would be Justin's boyfriend.
If he was, I could not lay in Chris Hemsworth. Like he could. Maybe David Beckham. I don't know. Maura could lay in David Beckham.
I've kissed guys like just fucking caught up in like cocaine, like fucking just drunk days and partying.
Yeah.
And I've jerked off to gay porn once just to see if I was gay.
Just to see what happens.
It didn't work. I'm not gay, and I love gay people. I hate even saying I'm not gay because there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's just not my deal. It'd be easier sometimes maybe if I was. They're really into open relationships from what I gather. Men, homosexual men.
No, it's like in general.
All gay men that we've had on this podcast have been in open relationships.
I love it.
Because it's just about having choice. Like that is what open relationships are. It's just like.
And I love choices.
Exactly. And if you want to keep choosing someone, then that's fine. But like you should be able to have the choice. Like, well, I think also closed relationships or like traditional relationships rather are like more about ownership and like attachment rather than like love. If you really think about it, is like very free and fun and like explorative.
I don't see many relationships work these days, personally.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's because no one's trying something new here.
Well, a lot of people that have been on this podcast have been trying something new. So
who?
Everyone that we have on is an open relationship besides me. Every time we talk about this.
I don't think that's true.
My relationship's great.
Is it really great all the time?
I'm like,
are you trying to get me murdered, bro? You know my girl's a fan. She's definitely watching this episode. It's a fucking amazing relationship. What's wrong with you?
So quick to go to these relationships and what's right or wrong. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think it's a great relationship. I think I enjoy traditional. I think people that have open relationships are starting to fucking pull in the people that are in traditional relationships. You guys are fucking forming an army of just everyone fucks everyone.
Well, and
there's no one left for me to fuck. I just want one person.
It's more.
Leave me want one person. Stop recruiting these people into your fake dick armies. And I would be able to.
Dick armies is crazy.
One person
I just want one person to have sex with without everyone trying to fucking recruit her.
Also, open relationships aren't just about sex. Bro. Like you could have one person that you have great sex with, so that's like your sex person. And then what if you like just enjoy hanging out with someone, but you like to like hold hands and be flirty?
So I'm in a relationship, right? If she came home and she's like, "Well, you're just not my best sex person."
Maybe you're not. Maybe she's not yours either.
I'd be totally okay with it.
You would be fine with not. What if she called you like you're the best cleaner? You're my favorite cleaner. You come over and clean my house really well.
I believe everyone is great at something.
If he enjoyed cleaning, then that would be a perfect match.
Cleaning's not my deal. I'll try it, but I know what I do know, and I know what I don't know.
What would you want your girl to call you the best at? Like, you're my best.
Friend.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking aces of a friend. I will show up. I will give you 110% of everything that I have. Anything past that is like, I'll let you down.
But, you know,
at one point in time or other in the relationship, I will.
But like that's to be
That's
expected
quiet.
too.
I thought you were going. Novak goes on these rants. I was like, let him go.
That was it. No, there's no.
What's the last thing you did to let somebody down that you were closest with?
Okay, the last thing that I did to let somebody down that I was closest with, I had to tell somebody that I wasn't doing something with somebody because I knew that if I did, they would like be upset and hurt, and that happened, and that wasn't cool to me.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like someone was like, "What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you going?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you just lied
Yeah.
because you just knew that they wouldn't like.
to. But although I'm not in anything committed,
Right.
so like there was really no reason for me to lie,
Right,
because I'm a people pleaser.
Just felt good.
And I hated doing it, and I'm so far removed from lying that it was the same as like me eating a fucking fast food cheeseburger right now. It was like,
You'd rather
fucked
just
me
say
all
it.
up.
Yeah, just
I'm
say
like,
what it
dude,
is.
And I should. How much do I want to take accountability for my actions? Is the truth, right? I put myself in a position where I should have never fucking said something that wasn't true. So it all comes back to self. But I could like deflect and be like, well, she had no business asking me because we're not in a relationship.
Well, and it's also like, why are you asking me though?
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on how deep you want to go. But to answer your question, that's it. That was it.
What's the best drug you've ever done?
A speed
Justin
ball.
will go from like literally over here all the way to there and be like, well, all right.
Novak, dude.
What did you eat for
Novak's
Thanksgiving?
like normally I could like kind of like direct the conversation, but Novak just fucking goes on these rants, which are always awesome. I'm like, shit, he's going way off topic. How am I gonna fucking direct this? And I'm just like, I'm just gonna fucking ask the question.
That's the best way to do it. Direct approach is always solid. I
Speedball,
hate small talk too. Yes, speedballs.
speedballs, and the fake cock.
Yeah. Totally.
What's the most boring drug of all time?
I mean, it's preference. For me, probably like herb.
I knew you were going to say
beer. Beer fucking sucks.
So like just because
Because beer for me like makes me tired, it makes me bloated, and just fucking it's not what I really want, which is heroin and cocaine.
if someone wanted to get like sober right now, what's the first thing they should do?
Ask for help. Absolutely. Because here's the reality. Truth of the matter is it is impossible. It defies logic to think that you can use the very same brain that thought you into addiction to then think you out of it. Because addiction has nothing to do with the drink or the drug. It's the behaviors, the attitude, and the thinking. The drink and the drug is the byproduct of the real problem, which is the thinking, the behavior.
Who should they reach out to? Like, do you have like, is there like a set person, or is it just reach out to maybe the Redemption House?
The same number that I gave out before. And if I don't answer it, I have another guy that works with me that answers it, John Fusco. And yeah.
If they're broke, is there a way for them to still?
Mm-hmm. There's always a way. It's much more difficult, unfortunately. And welcome to, bureaucracy. But like, unfortunately, when you have good insurance and you have money, you have options. When you have no insurance, your options are fucking pretty little. When you have state-funded insurance, you have options.
What would you say to an addict who thinks they can handle their next one drink or one hit?
Fucking do it.
Right. Exactly.
Just try it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because and I can tell you all day long, like, you can't do this. This is going to end up bad. But who the fuck cares? Until you come to the realization that your life is unmanageable as a direct result of the fucking alcohol or the drugs, then I have a better fucking shot of getting a better outcome talking to this brick wall.
Yeah, you can't. It's just people have to choose for themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all, again, deliverance, right? Attraction rather than promotion. Mm-hmm. So if I can make you want what I have so bad that you're willing to like maybe be open-minded and pick the phone up and ask for help, or go to someone that you trust and believe in that knows a little bit better than you do, you have a shot.
You should get some like hot girls at the recovery house or the Redemption House, just on Instagram, because you're saying sell your life.
Hooters delivers.
I saw that.
Hooters
Just
delivers.
get more Hooters girls to change their shirt and make it sexy. Like, you want to come to recovery, and just have people like,
I'm not opposed to that, but there's like a lot of moms groups out there that have lost their like significant others and children to it, and that happened when that Hooters reached out, and because Hooters, 3 of my house managers at 3 of my sober living houses are managers at Hooters, and they love us. They do wing bowls. And
Hooters is a great organization.
Yeah.
Like literally, like
shout out to Delaware Hooters.
like the corporation of Hooters is like, I met some lady in Nashville and she was like, she ran things for like the Hooters events and she was telling me about all that they do for like their girls and stuff. And like, they're a really good like company.
Are you mad that you can't work there?
They change things. If you have ass, now you can work at Hooters.
I just walked past the Ocean City Hooters in Baltimore on the boardwalk. And I was like, I don't see any chicks with like really big tits.
Yeah.
And I was with my ex and she's like, that's not the thing anymore. And I stood there. I'm like, no, this is just a one-off. And I was waiting, and that's not.
It's like a
Just
genre.
standing outside, where's the boobies?
Like you don't need boobs to be a hot girl anymore.
They're equal opportunists.
I'm all boobs guy. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
But like if there's like a pretty girl and she has like a nice face and she's just like a happy like girl, you're gonna want to be like, you're gonna be curious regardless.
You made
like,
her sound fat when you said she's just a nice girl with a pretty face. You made her sound fat to me.
Well, that's your perception.
Someone's always hot to somebody.
It's true.
That was like what I learned when I worked at the old club I worked at. Because all the other girls were like stick skinny, and then I was like tall, and they all had like boobs, and then I didn't have boobs, and I was like a little bit like heavier than everybody else, and it was like, well, guys don't want to look at the same thing anyways. Why? They already saw 4 skinny girls with brown hair that have boobs. Let's throw a pink curvy girl in that doesn't have boobs, and now you have Yahtzee. Now we have a little bit of a variety.
There's only 3 pink-haired girls in the whole world.
3?
No, not right now. There's a lot.
I
feel like purple is more what I see than pink. You're probably the only person I ever see with pink.
I work so at Barstool now. I went there the first day, and there was a girl. She has pink hair. Her name is Laura.
Bitch.
And I'm like, damn. I'm like,
take your whole
pink
stick.
hair girl, and her name is Aura too. Basically, I'm like, shit. I was like, you don't have any people that are gonna come in here looking for the pink hair girl.
Definitely.
Right?
Will we be recruiting Laura for the open relationship team that we've created here?
I don't think so. She's in a
Sorry, you
relationship.
can't-
I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. No.
He can maybe fuck her.
If I have a
Now
fake
you wanna
cock,
fuck Laura.
what if I have a fake cock one? You know what I mean? Maybe like I could like hold my hand out and look away, and I'll still be kind of involved with you guys. Am I cool
You
enough?
don't need to have sex to be in an open relationship.
I don't like it. This is all gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
You need to learn these things.
See, if you had the Bertcast, you could be like, cut that out.
No. I think it's funny no matter
Right.
what. Like, I
That's
don't care.
very time efficient, by the way.
I mean, we can cut it out at the end, but I don't like to cut things out.
Yeah, we know, because there's been times where I say, cut that out, and then it's still in the
Then he makes like a
episode.
whole edit and cut off of you saying that.
Yeah, well, I'm like, that's
Hats
not what
off.
I
You
meant.
do an amazing job with that.
Thank
Those
you.
edits. Fucking
Throw
hilarious.
me to the wolves.
One of my funniest favorites of all times was the you're not a noisemaker while fucking, and you're like, I'll give an occasional oof.
Oh yeah, who was that?
Really, like, it was so,
Who was that with?
Do you remember that? I remember that.
Yeah,
I think of
yeah.
it often.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, baby. Like it was talking about talking during sex, and somebody,
Yes.
you guys were like, yeah, talk during sex. So I was like, what would you want?
And now cut to that, and you'll see.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, go to that. I can't remember who the fuck's episode that was.
I don't know, but you need to use your words to get things that you want.
Fake cock. Chris Hemsworth.
He does right the cock.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's just on my mind. We've been talking about cock all
People
day.
always ask me if Justin's gay. I'm like, no. And then it's like, he's
I
like,
love
why
it.
do they think that? I'm like,
I grew up watching CKY
What?
Jackass. And everyone's naked. I
Now
can't
he's gonna
fuck.
deflect his gay.
It's all Novak. Novak made me gay. I was totally straight. I was a nice young boy, Christian boy, and then all of a sudden I saw a bunch of naked
Christian
guys.
boy.
What am I supposed to
A
do?
nice Christian boy.
Seeing guys roller skate naked. What am I supposed to do? Not laugh and think things about cock?
I don't know if Christian boy is gonna help your cause of not being gay.
Yeah,
Digging.
I think that's more of a Catholic thing, though. The Catholic boys, well, they don't really want it. It just kind of happens to them. So speaking of bad things,
oh my God.
so speaking about bad things happening in your past, do you ever get mad at yourself for becoming addicted? Or what's
I'm grateful for it. I'm absolutely grateful. It literally, it's. So check this out. It's insane. I get off on talking about shit like this, but if in any world of any medical fucking facility or setting, if you've been diagnosed with any disease, and everyone think about this, if you've been diagnosed with a disease, generally all the time that I'm aware of, you will never recoup 100%. You'll always come back a little bit off or a little bit less than what you were before you were diagnosed.
Right.
I mean,
That's actually true.
okay,
It's a way to look at it.
except if you've been diagnosed as an addict or an alcoholic. It's the only disease for which you come back a 10 times better version in every way of that. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, what other disease can produce that outcome? Think about that. That's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, try it.
Try it out.
Not addiction, but
try out addiction.
Can you think of a disease?
Speedballs apparently are great.
Can you think of another disease that where you can overcome it and come back a 10 times better version than you were before?
Just like breast cancer if you get fake boobs afterwards.
But then and not that anything's wrong with breast cancer. Well, yeah, okay.
Ain't no fucking way.
But what if the woman didn't want fake tits?
Right.
What if she's like all natural, like fuck all that kind of stuff?
Because fake tits really can actually seriously cause problems, like in your body. Like a lot of people get explants.
Yeah.
What's an explant?
They get their implants taken out because they get like shakes, or they like their eyes will like change colors, like the white of their eye will turn yellow, like crazy shit. Implants are crazy.
I'm a fan.
It's a foreign body in your body.
That make your body better.
Now chicks are getting
to you. Who better to you? What does it do for us?
It's about me. Why can't it ever be about me? White men for once? Why does it always be about pink-haired women?
Unbelievable.
Do you ever get mad about how people treated you when you were addicted, for instance?
I don't, but people do. Other people do in my life. And I'm like, why? What? Are you insane?
Like, for instance, that Ryan Dunn video where, I don't know, were you guys in Novak's garage? Or, I'm sorry, Bam's garage? Yeah. Do you ever watch that and get, like, how do you feel about that video now?
I love it. I can't get enough of watching stuff like that. Because, again, the juxtaposition from who I was as opposed to who I am. And seeing that it was really refreshing to see that, because that was after I had burned all my bridges in Baltimore and I was really disconnected from any form of reality or humanity per se. And then to come here and be welcomed with open arms from all these guys and girls. And my addiction was just kind of fucking destroying it, but seeing them like holding on and really like trying to fucking get me to see the light it made me smile for humanity, you know, because I think sometimes with addiction, and I'm guilty of it too, I don't walk on fucking water, but I can desensitize it and I can forget that there's like a heartbeat and a story behind the outcome. And there's like a mother or a brother or a sister or a husband or a wife missing that individual. And the individual at the time is a great person just caught up in active addiction and is prone to making bad decisions, you know.
So I want to get into your book, Streets of Baltimore. It's a fucking amazing book. I told you.
No,
but I'm
Thank you.
just fucking accept my love, bro.
I'm gonna be showing up to your house.
I
giving
talked
you a
about how
sticker
you made
every
me
day.
gay,
You're
like
gonna start convulsing.
Take these compliments from me. So you had a great voice in the audiobook, which you have a great voice now, obviously. Was it weird portraying other people's voices? So in the audiobook, you portray your own voice during the book, and then you also portray, say, your girlfriends or your friends or different people's voices. Was it weird to try to find a voice for that person?
No, because I knew the people, right? So I could kind of have an idea of what I was shooting for. But that was a serious undertaking that I really discounted as not being a big deal. The process of doing an audiobook. And what that looked like is I would go into the studio in Milk Boy Studios in Philly, and I would sit in the booth and I'd have the mic, the headset on, and then there'd be a person working the boards, and then there was a person in Seattle, and there was a person in New York, and a person in Philly with headphones on that were professional narrators that were listening to me. So before I would go into each chapter, they'd say, "Okay, Novak, you've just gotten out of your third rehab. You've been invited to Christmas dinner. You're feeling optimistic. You have a little bit of hope for the future, but people are still a little wary of you." To kind of let me know the demeanor to deliver my lines. And then when I would read them, they'd all be listening. And let's say I was supposed to say skateboards, plural, but I swallowed the S and I said skateboard. They up, they got to bring that back. And it was just that over and over. And the Streets of Baltimore, the book is 72 fucking chapters. And they're short chapters, but fucking, and this is before I opened my facility and I wasn't really at one place for too long.
Right.
That was me sitting in a booth 8 days in a row from 10 to 5 p.m. I don't sit anywhere that long.
It took you 8 days to record that?
Yeah.
Entire book? Jesus. Yeah. I mean, how often were you taking breaks to like rest your voice?
After each chapter.
Okay.
I'd get up. And the first day that I went, I was really disappointed with my performance. My mind is the biggest problem. And I get in there and because practicing, I'd read to my 3 cats, right? I just read aloud to my cats.
Yeah.
And just had very monotone, no really emphasis on anything. And the first day I got in there, people pleasing, I'm like, there's a lot of people involved with this project. They have things they want to do. They don't want to sit here and listen to me read all day these chapters and fumble. So I just kind of sped through it. And I went home and I'm like, this is fucking unacceptable, right? Like this is going, books are really amazing because they're tangible. They're there. But in this day and age with things evolving, books at some point will probably maybe be gone, but audio will live forever in the fucking universe. And it's going to reach a whole new demographic, right? Like the younger people after me. So I'm like, dude, I can really branch off into this whole new world, but I have to fucking make my mark. I have to. So I prayed, I meditated, I really just got centered and grounded. And the next day I went in and I had a whole new approach that yielded a much better outcome. And by day 4, I was like fucking on it.
So did you delete what you did the first day or did you stay with that?
We kept that in the bank, but then we kept going. And then I did it in 6 days. The other 2 days were just makeups for stuff. And now I'm in the studio as we speak every Monday. So now I'm like way more busier. When I did that, I did it 8 days in a row because I had the time. But now I've opened the facility. I've acquired 2 more houses. I'm like everywhere.
Yeah.
So now and I'm traveling a lot for work stuff, promoting my new endeavor. So now I'm doing every Monday from 12 to 4, half days once a week, just to kind of like, because if I go in there burnt out, I'm doing nobody. I'm doing more of a disservice to everybody involved. So I have I'm doing it now for a dream seller.
It was supposed to be out. It's not out yet. It's coming out, I don't know.
We pushed it. I was like, I don't fucking care. Like I'm doing it. But the good thing is they don't let me be. They're like, okay. And so we've booked out. So I think I have like 7 more. No, I'd say probably because I'm doing half days, probably like 6 or 7 more sessions. Okay. And then they'll do what they do and then it will be out.
Okay. Did anyone get mad at you for you putting them in your book and telling their story through you?
No, because the ones that didn't allow it, we couldn't use their real names. So we had to kind of slightly talk about what they look like a little bit different than the reality. My ex, who is Alexia in the book, she is hell-bent on remaining anonymous, which is a bitch because everybody wants to know about her. And Alexia is actually sober and she was working in a methadone clinic, but now she's not. She's with Caleb, Caleb and Alexia are 2 different names. They're not real names.
That was your friend. I got a question on that. So Caleb and Alexia in the book, Alexia, not in the real life too. I don't want to say in the book, in your real life. So Alexia was your fiance.
My high school sweetheart, yeah.
And then Caleb is somebody you met through drugs, correct?
We were living in that in Slim's crack house. We were renting that room for $10 a night in East Baltimore.
So when they're
shitting in a bucket, pissing in a bucket, sharing a fucking mattress on the ground.
At one point, they're banging next to you. What's going through your mind at that point?
Alexia and Caleb?
Yeah. And now this was my high school sweetheart who I had lost my virginity to in real life. Yeah. It got really fucking... Damn.
What was your really like... using too?
Oh, we were all living... We were thick as thieves.
Okay.
So what was your thought process going on?
So he's been in open relationships.
They weren't Hello. They weren't together at the time. Read the book or listen to the book. So what's going through your mind at that moment?
That was having one of those moment of clarities, right? Because it was the morning. Every morning I woke up, and where I'm talking about is for anyone in Baltimore that's listening. It was on Eager and Broadway, and now they've gentrified it. Johns Hopkins brought all that up, but before that, it was no man's land, and white people did not belong. They weren't allowed. You saw how I had to get into the house and cover my hood up, but so every morning I'd wake up, and it was just like literally. There's a bucket in the corner that we shit and piss into, but we all 3 share this bucket.
What about toilet paper?
Napkins.
Okay.
That are like
Wendy's
short.
Napkins or something.
Yeah, like just that you
Where
get
would you empty that?
In the backyard. It was just in a backyard.
Okay.
And that's the standards for which we were living in. And so every morning you'd wake up and you just had to get high as quick as humanly possible to escape the hell that we had created for ourselves. And I remember waking up one morning and I just coming to, and we're all sharing this, literally just a mattress on a floor in an abandoned house, like a legit abandoned house. But this guy, Slim, had taken this house over and he'd lived there for years and he was running electricity from the neighbor's house illegally and he was renting out a room to us for $10 a night. And or 30, we all had to give him 10 per. And I just like could hear them fucking, and it was just like.
So paint me a picture. You're just under a cover trying to act like you're still asleep.
Yeah,
and they're just.
I'm on the outside looking at that wall.
Yeah.
She's behind me, like spooning me, but not. Mm-hmm. And then Caleb is to her back. So Caleb's fucking her. She's like breathing onto me, and I'm just like looking at this wall. Really, I'm looking at like the shit fucking bucket. Cheap. Yeah, dude, it was bad.
You're like, I really got to take a piss right now, but I don't want to ruin the moment.
It was bad.
And this is like before you guys dated, or
this is way after. This is that.
Oh, after.
I met her in high school. She was like a varsity lacrosse and soccer player. She had like scholarships, and I was like a skateboarder and had a career in it. And then I decided to pursue heroin, and I used to get her to drive me around the way to cop. And then before you know it, she followed suit. And then we just both got like lost in the abyss of addiction in Baltimore City. And then Caleb came with us too. And then we just kind of ended up as this trio. And we'd all kind of rob, steal, get high together, look out for each other, you know. Mm-hmm. And then but now, plot twist, Caleb and Alexia are married. They have a kid, and they're both clean. And Caleb, I fucking love him. I love all of them. Caleb opened up a treatment center where Alexia is a therapist at. And they're both fucking clean and sober. And when I used to I was this fucking strung out fucking junkie for a long time. And people would say, oh, you're terrible. And just to put in perspective of how bad Caleb was, he was the guy that I was convinced would never, ever, ever fucking see the light of day. Damn sure get recovery. Mm-hmm. And he is. And he got sober before me. He didn't remain anonymous. He's in my documentary that will come out.
I have so many questions, but I really, really got to pee right now. I'm sorry to take a break, but I really got to pee.
Okay.
Novak's like, motherfucker.
I don't care.
We have actually a toilet. You don't need to even, you can leave the room and everything.
Oh, man. God bless him.
That's crazy.
Oh, Ben, I almost pissed my pants. So,
you should have pissed in the cup. Here.
Next time I'll do it for you. I'll go for Novak again. So, how did you reach out and find people like Slim to put in the book? Like, get permission?
Oh, I didn't.
You just made up.
Slim, I could never. Slim's definitely dead by now.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely dead. And I could. So, for the documentary coming out, there's one person in question that, like, we have this amazing footage. And I don't think that I'm ever going to be able to find this guy. And I've had people, like, that maybe could possibly find him, and no one can fucking get a lead on this guy. And this is actual like footage.
Yeah.
And it's a bitch because it ties the storyline together for this one particular scene.
If you need an actor to portray this guy, I mean, I can totally do it.
He's a black guy from the hood. You have that.
I mean, I feel like I have some essence of that, though.
You don't.
No, okay.
The fact that you used some essence of that, though,
I got that,
didn't fit the narrative of what we're shooting for.
Oh, I'm not in my, I'm not in, I can't do that. I don't want to do it. Blackface would be too much for me. So,
yeah, good.
Do you still have Billy Idol's sobriety token?
Leave that. I didn't hear that.
Anywho.
I don't. My co-author, Joe Franz, does.
Okay.
Wait, what is it?
Billy Idol.
He gave me a sobriety token.
Oh, cool.
He gave me his 24-hour medallion.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, it was sick, man.
So do you ever hear from Dante anymore?
No.
For people that are listening, Dante, do you want to explain who it was? He had a girlfriend. You robbed Dante. Mm-hmm. Dante found you, beat you up. And then
I paid all the money back.
He paid the money back. And then at the end of the book, I thought it was a great way to tie it all in where you guys met up.
I know. I do talk to him. I do. Oh, wait. So that's even crazier. I forgot. So that's a long story, but I'll get into it. I was living in Little Italy near my mother. My mother lives in Little Italy. I was engaged to this woman. Well, I don't think she'd say engaged. My mind said it so, but
Me as fuck.
Maura does this shit all the time. She just calls people their boyfriend behind their back. It's the weirdest shit ever.
Totally.
It's like, no, I'm not. Well, you are in my head.
I've been engaged several times, and they definitely would not agree.
No ring. I just said it in my mind.
Totally. And it is the fucking truth because I said it. But my mother lives in Little Italy. I was with this woman for years, and she lived in Little Italy around the corner from my mother. And she was best friends with Dante. And that's not his real name either. But he was okay with us writing about him. But he did an interview for my documentary, too. But she just was fucking fed up with me because she was a good woman, as most of them were. They were never addicts, and they would always try to love it out of me and just try to help me get right, which it was impossible. And finally, enough was enough, and she's like, I'm done. You have to go. And Dante then moved in. Dante was her best friend. But Dante sold a lot of drugs, and Dante was a bartender at like the coolest bar, and he made a lot of money. And I knew that because I would steal money from Dante when he'd stay there. Now, once I was kicked out, he moved in. I knew that there was an abundance of money there, and I knew how to break into the house because I lived there. So I went up one day and I stole $10,000. And now I go a few blocks over to the projects, and I just don't leave this house for like almost 3 weeks, and I just have the homeboys coming to deliver the dope and the coke, and I'm just fucking on this major bender. One day I run out of money at the end, and they kick me out of this house. He finds me, beats me up a little bit. Someone buys me a Greyhound bus ticket from Baltimore to Colorado, Gunnison, Colorado. It's like an 8-day bus ride. I'm detoxing from heroin. I have $0 on me. I'm like stealing from each stop, transitioning and shifting buses. I finally get to Gunnison, Colorado. and I'm looking for heroin. There's no heroin, but it's a big coke town. So I get some coke just because it's the only thing that's there. And finally, I meet someone that's selling a script of Valiums. I buy the Valiums. I eat like all of them. There's this one gas station in the town. It's a little town. One road up the mountain, one road down, and there's like a hitching post. I live up the mountain across from the ski resort, and I'm at the gas station at the hitching post. The gas station's closed. It's freezing out. I've taken like probably 15 or 20 Valiums because I'm so excited I finally got my hands on them. And I remember looking at the gas station. I'm freezing. I can't get a ride. And I'm like, I should just go break into this gas station. So I remember grabbing the brick, and I go and I throw the brick through the window. And I remember hearing the alarm go off. And above the gas station is apartments. So people have now come out, and they're like looking down. I remember this. I remember them looking at me. Then I black out. Apparently what happened was I go into the gas station and I steal cigarettes, liquor, and money. And Mentos. A whole bunch of Mentos for some reason. I don't fucking eat Mentos.
The fresh maker.
It's on the police report. So I'm woken up like some hours later by the police. Or no. So I remember, then I leave the gas station. And I'm back at the hitching post. And now I hear the alarm going off, and I see the people standing above the apartments looking down. And I remember thinking, the damage is done. I might as well go back and steal more. That's where I black out. Cut to a few hours later, I'm awoken by a police officer, and he said, "Son, did you break into this gas station?" And I said, "What the fuck are you talking about? I've been in my house sleeping all night." And he said, "You fucking idiot, you're covered in glass in the gas station." Cut to me going to jail. I go to jail. I'm still so high on all the Valiums, they can't process me because I can't give them my information. Mm-hmm. So they put me in this like padded room, right? And I'm now finally starting to come to, but there's no bathroom in this padded room. So I bang on the cell door, and it's this little mom and pop kind of jail, very like Barney Fife kind of deal. And I say I have to use the bathroom. And it just happened to be that it was medication time for the inmates. Oh so they walk me out to the bathroom. They don't cuff me, and they're walking to the bathroom. And as a professional drug addict, I see all the pill bottles on the table as I like walk past, and I can immediately spot which one would be the best for me. So I go to take a piss, and I put a plan together, and I come out and I swipe the bottle, and I get back into my cell, and I take a couple, and then I shove the rest of the bottle up my ass because it's a padded cell. There's no toilet. There's nothing. They start looking for the pills. They're like, he's got to have them. We haven't even started giving them to the inmates yet. No one's been out. Get them. So they come and they get me. They search me. They don't find them. They lock me back in the room. They go back.
How do you put that in your ass like that?
My asshole doubled as a suitcase for a lot of years.
What was it like the first time you put something up your ass?
Just fucking, it wasn't personal. It wasn't like I was looking for a feeling or sensation. It started out by me taking cigarette cellophanes and putting my heroin in there after I copped. And I would like light the lighter. So it was and I'd shove it up my ass. So I had like terrible hemorrhoids for years, which after I got sober, I had to have hemorrhoid surgery because like I just would fucking shove shit up to get through customs and through. But anyways, not the point of the story here. Fucking ass man.
It was me.
She started it. She's the ass lady. I was just
thinking.
I was
like,
in my head. I was like, yo, I got a question about that.
But wait, so I then they realize that it has to be me. They come back in my cell. They're furious. Drop, squat, cough. I do that, and when I cough, the pill bottle shoots out of my ass, and all the pills come out.
Damn.
My original sentence of 90 days turns into a 6-month sentence. Right now, Dante, who I stole the money from, has taken warrants out on me. He said that I broke into his house, second, third degree burglary, grand theft of over X amount of dollars. So now I have these warrants, but Colorado is not willing to extradite me on these warrants because it's not worth their fucking money. And so they like let me finish my sentence there, and I'm released. Then I get back to Denver, Colorado. I go buy a whole bunch of dope on Colfax and get onto this plane. But when I get onto the plane, I take my dope and I have my needle and I get on the plane and I fly back to BWI. And I don't even fucking make it out of the airport. I go outside, I fucking shoot up, and I nod out on the bench outside the airport. And a cop comes up and he asks for my ID. And the whole reason why I ran from Baltimore to Colorado is because Dante put a hit out on me. He knew that I stole his money. And he put like a $15,000 hit out on me. People were looking for me to kill me. So my friend took mercy and sympathy on me. He bought me a one-way ticket to Gunnison, Colorado. I do my sentence out there. While in there, called Dante and was like, fuck you, I'll never pay you your money. That's why I stole it. Like, just a fucking arrogant asshole, right? Just fucking, and I was mad that he ended up with my ex, who I loved, and just was a bitter ex. And I get released, go back to Baltimore. I nod out at the airport, get caught with all this fucking heroin, end up right in central booking. And then while I'm in central booking, they transport me to court to face these warrants. And while I go to court, I'm like shackled to like 3 young boys. And I tell them the story, and I'm like, I've ripped this guy off for $10,000. Mark my words, I will beat this case. Because the prosecutor's then coming back there, and she said, okay, we'll offer you X amount of time with probation. We'll offer you, and I'm like, I'm not taking a deal because it's his word against mine. I lived in the house. My fingerprints are everywhere. I'm a known heroin addict. Of course he's going to blame me. Yeah. My word against yours. We'll never hold up. Short story long, I tell the kids that are hackled, they're like, no way, you're never going to beat this. We go out. The kids are staring at Dante because he showed up to court to fucking speak his deal. And the judge gets so annoyed, he makes the kids stop turning around. And because they're like antagonizing Dante because they're on my side now. Yeah. We go up. I plead my case. The judge is like, no, your word against his. You guys settle this out of court. Dismissed. Case dismissed. I beat the case, right? Yeah. Then I go out. And then Damien, Dante, fuck it, we're friends now. He knows it's in the book. His name's Damien. Can't keep doing this. Damien. I don't like to fucking lie. Open relationships. Damien, it was you all along. He caught me a couple times. They beat me up pretty bad a few times, like really bad. And then finally I got sober. My mother still lived in Little Italy. And I was like, I don't want anyone to go around and fucking light her house on fire, like hurt her, take it on her. So I called Damien, and I was my 9th step, making my amends, right? And I said, Damien, I just finished your treatment. If it's okay with you, I'd like to spend some time and talk to you. What do you say we meet at a Starbucks? He's like, no, we're going to meet at this park. Mm-hmm. This man financially paid to have me killed. Yeah. Now he wants to meet me in a desolate, deserted park. Yeah. I'm terrified. I called my sponsor, and I'm like, he's going to kill me. And he said, well, you've experienced the 3rd step, which means I've turned my life and the will of my life over to God, right? Yeah. I've given my life to God. So everything that happens from here on is in God. It. Yes. Yeah. How much have I really believe in my higher power? So I go, and Damien shows up, and now I've went with, I think, like 1,000 or 2,000 in an envelope. And I said, Damien, I've just completed treatment. I've worked these steps, and I'm here to right my wrongs. And I want you to know that I stole your money and it was not fair, and asked if there was anything else that I did to him that I was leaving out, right? Because I really need to clear this. And And he said, look, what you don't know is that I've already forgiven you. And he said, again, what you don't know is I became an alcoholic, and I opened a bar, and I drank the bar away, and I've lost a lot of the things I cared about in life as a direct result of my alcoholism. And as a matter of fact, I just got out of treatment yesterday.
Him.
And I was going to drink today. And you called out of nowhere right before I drank, and I took it as a sign of something bigger. And I gave him the $1,000 or $2,000. I paid him every 28th of every month. I would send him a check of $800. And to date, I've paid him back his $10,000, and he never drank that day.
Bro, when I tell you, when I was listening to your book and you told that story, I got like fucking chills. I just got chills now. Like, it was such a good way to wrap up the whole fucking book and your life in general. Yeah. To that point.
And that's alcoholism and addiction. It's a magical thing. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I would never have paid him back if I was drinking or if I was drugging. I would go back to Baltimore, and they would call him, and they'd be like, Dame, I just saw the motherfucker. He's driving a Range Rover. And he's like, no, it's okay. He's paid me back. Mm-hmm. Like, people thought that I had made all this money, and I just was like, fuck you. And I just,
You're like, no, I worked a program.
But a lot of, because in my program, I don't go to the masses and speak from the fucking mountains that I
Well, you're not doing it for that.
Yeah.
You're doing it for just you and that person.
Yeah. And when people were like, wow, he like went out of his way to go to a man who he did wrong and turned his wrongs right. Right. It was like my poison has become my medicine.
It's crazy. And you're now famously sober. So do you think there's like an added pressure on you because that's kind of your shtick is now that you're the sober guy?
I wouldn't say it's an added pressure. I would say it's like I'm a big fan of precautions, especially when the stakes are so high with my level of alcoholism and addiction, that like I'm a big fan of jumping out of an airplane with 5 parachutes as opposed to 1. Like, it can't hurt, you know?
I always think about that, like people that kind of get stuck, like Bert, you were on his show. His whole thing is he drinks and he's a partier. I'm sure that shit gets old. Like, Chris Hansen has to have the worst stick of all time. Every time somebody talks to him.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, but everyone wants to talk to him about, like, child predators. Like, I'm sure he's just like, I want to talk about sports today.
You can get a cameo from him. His cameos are amazing. You should listen to the cameos he does. He, like, totally fucking jokes his whole deal.
Yeah.
They're worth it if you want to buy it.
You gotta find the lighter side of child predators, because that's everyone wants to talk to about either a child that was harmed or somebody that's harming a child. Nobody wants to be like, what do you think of the Eagles this year? Everyone just talking about
I'd prefer to hear about what you wanted to talk about first as opposed to the Eagles.
I understand, but I'm saying every conversation
I'm a fan of that, but
every conversation, so somebody sees you in public, I loved you in CKY, I loved you in Jackass, I love that you're sober, all these things. They're just like, remember that one time that guy came over to meet that little kid? Every conversation is that one in public.
That's why I just like to talk about cats. You talk about kittens and I'm fucking sold. I'm like, I'm getting off.
Yeah. You're not a dog person at all?
No. I'm not that. I'm not a dog. I don't dislike dogs. I just cats. I used to breed dogs. I used to breed German Shepherds with my father. I've had every dog, probably brindles, labs, golden retrievers. But somewhere along the line, I transitioned to cats, I think, because it's kind of fitting for my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever think how crazy it is that you can get paid to be yourself sober? So you just being yourself, your sobriety puts you on a level where people want to hear you talk. Do you ever think about how awesome that is?
It's a blessing, is what it is. It's a blessing, and I just got to this point by fucking failing miserably. And that's the cool part about it.
Yeah,
I got expelled from 11th grade as a direct result of my addiction. I got my GED in the penitentiary. Never stepped foot in a college a day in my life. And today I get paid to speak at universities. And that's not coming from an egocentric place of like, facts. I'm the man. It's that like anything is fucking possible. And I am the guy that if I believe it, I can see it. And I know it to be true because a little over 8 years ago, I walked into my 13th treatment center, literally with the clothes to my back tied on by a shoestring, literally. And my dick and ass completely exposed because I got robbed before I walked into rehab. And I wasn't wearing underwear, and they ripped my front and my back pockets out. And I literally, my dick and my ass were completely exposed, and I had this button-up shirt on, And when they robbed me, they ripped my shirt open too. And the only button that stayed buttoned was this very top button. And I walked into treatment looking like a gay East LA Cholo gangbanger. Swear to God. Swear to God.
Wait, do you feel like you have to like see something to believe it, or do you feel like you believe it and then you see it? Mm-hmm. You believe it first. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I don't need like for me personally, and it doesn't make me different. I just don't need evidence-based reality because I believe in blessings, I believe in spirituality, and I believe in a higher power that makes the impossible possible. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it in my life and countless others on a daily basis.
I keep thinking, I just have been recently like trying to, I'm like, I can't decide if you believe something. Like, how do you know what to believe if you don't have the vision of, but like, then it's like, are we talking about vision as in like proof of actual concept, or like, are you seeing it and then believing that what you saw in your brain is possible to like see in your life? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. For me, it's deeper than I go.
Right. Okay.
You know, I don't generally go that deep with it unless I just go down that hole, which is likely depending on the day, time, or person that brings that out of me.
Right.
But I try to like to minimize things because I'm insane, and I will go down these fucking holes and end up on all these tangents, and then I'll start believing that I knows what's best.
Right.
You know, and then I come from a position of being understood as opposed to understanding. Mm. If acceptance is the answer to everything, which for me it is.
Right.
Because everyone's entitled to their process. Mm-hmm. So if your process entails you being an alcoholic or an addict, I believe that that's the process that was entailed for you. Because without my process, I would not be the child of God or man that I am today that has honesty, dignity, pride. I got a fucking call yesterday. Remember I told you yesterday was mentally draining?
Yeah.
Yesterday was like a day that just wouldn't fucking stop. Like I was just getting punched in the face over and over and over. And at the end of the day, before I left the office, I was like, fuck, man. Like guessing and questioning myself and my beliefs, and is this what I want to do for the unforeseen future? Did I make the wrong decision? Whatever, right?
Right.
And then I get a call from this organization in California, and they want to award me at their ceremony for this like humanitarian award for all the work that I do for the people that sometimes don't have a voice. And that made it all worthwhile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like,
that kind of reinvigorated me to like
just eat the punches.
Yeah. And now I'm just so fucking weird that like I like thrive, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is it. I like flip to like crazy.
Right. Like manic.
Like, here we go. Like, cool. You're gonna fucking shut the houses down. Right on. Like, what's next? Like,
yeah, that's how I get too. Yeah, I'm like, okay, then do it. Like, what?
So do you ever go back and think like, what if I stayed sober and kept skateboarding? Maybe I would be in like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like the video game. No. Like, you don't ever go back to that.
No, that wasn't my time, and it wasn't my opportunity. Everything in life plays out exactly how it's supposed to. So I wasn't intended to be there for that.
So when you were on here last time, I had a lot of people that reached out. Like I said, growing up watching you, all my friends, we would watch all the things you did. They asked, how the fuck did you get Brandon Novak on your podcast? Why did you agree to come on the first time?
I'm a big fan of saying yes to the majority of
things.
Seriously. That's fucking good. And I get that from my mother, man.
No,
She's
yes
just
is best.
prone to agree to anything. Good,
People
bad,
pleaser.
or indifferent. I had this my plant lady. I have a plant lady.
Here we go.
And she goes to me a while ago. Remember I told you about this?
Yes.
She goes to me. And she's this little Asian woman. She's great. She doesn't speak great English. And I thought we had a great rapport and a really solid friendship. And she just like didn't show up. And I'm kind of like OCD. Like, you say you're going to be here, at least in a pretty fucking normal time that you say you'll be. Whatever. She doesn't come. Then I bump into her at the coffee shop. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And I think she took that serious. And she stopped coming. She ghosted me. She fucking gave me like the runaround. Fast forward, I come out of the gym this morning and like I overwater these plants because I'm home, and now I'm like consistently watering them, and so one of the plants turned into like a fucking swamp pit, and my cat thinks it's a mosh pit and has pulled it out, and there's like a mound of mud on the floor. So I call the plant lady. The plant lady to this point has consistently been unreliant, and she has let me down. Now she's come. I'm a people pleaser. I said, I need a facelift. I need you to help me out. We got to do some things. We have to change this outcome. And she comes, very strange, same day. She comes, and also very strange. She said, oh, you're going to have to pay me now. Very fucking strange. But what do? I write her a goddamn check. And now.
No, she did not ghost you.
She may. I don't know if she will. She's now supposed to be back next Wednesday. But if history repeats the future, which generally it does, she hasn't fucking shown up, kept her word, and why? She's never asked for money up front. Well, but I just said yes is the point of all that.
I think that was a good idea. I think she'll show up on Wednesday.
We should. I'm gonna message you on Wednesday and figure out if
at 4:30 she's supposed to be there.
Maybe
we'll call you on FaceTime. Where's she at? Where's the Asian lady?
I think she's coming.
You think so?
Where's the plant lady? We gotta see this plant lady.
I'll take a picture and when she showed up today, I gave her a hug. You would have thought that.
She's probably like, all right.
She's like, I never wanted to see you again. That's what she told me.
She was giving you a second chance, but she's like, all right, I didn't like how it worked last time, so let's switch it. So now you have to pay me this time.
No English, but she said, I don't like you.
She's like,
it's an essence.
She doesn't do good English. She's like, I didn't want to see you again.
She Googled how to say it in English. She's like, I'm going to tell this motherfucker about
it's not like a couple, like it's pretty pricey. Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking, you got this plant lady comes and she brings and she sets up and it's like a lot that goes into it. And I've never like tried to skimp on it or, not that I'm loaded, but I respect people's time, and she's good at what she does. As a matter of fact, I want her storefront to basically look like my living room.
Right.
Just all these fucking overgrown, like, jungle safari vibe. I'm a big vibe guy.
How's that with the cats? Are they just knocking shit over all the time?
They were great until they weren't. Domino.
Get dogs is what
Domino basically just caused me to spend a few $1,000s today fucking begging this plant lady to come back, which I might have got burnt on.
I don't think you did.
Wednesday, we'll find out. So...
At 4:30.
At 4:30, we're going to call Novak and see what's going on. It sounds like there's an Asian lady putting up flames.
If she doesn't, I'm just going to come back here, blow you, and shoot a speedball.
Fake cocks for fun. It's a good way to tie up the whole episode. So, Maura, let's get the promotion aspect going and talking to the camera. Tell everyone we want to promote.
I don't know.
Fake cocks, maybe?
I'm struggling.
Fairy garden?
OnlyFans? No, I'm just kidding.
Start it.
I'm a big fan of that.
Dude, all the guys in my life are like, just do OnlyFans. I'm like, you guys are supposed to say opposite of this. Anyways, Fairy Garden, the Love and Then What podcast, Novak, and INR Studios.
And if you're struggling and you need help, reach out to me and my team. 610-314-6747 or Redemption Addiction Treatment Center or Novak's house. Yes.
Shit, he's got a lot more going on, but you really can't fit it all into one sentence.
Just go to my Instagram.
Just go to Novak's Instagram.
Oh, my new board dropped today, too. My new pro board for Heart Supply, which you can purchase if you go. Just go to my Instagram. It's the easiest.
There's a lot of links there. You'll find it there. I want to thank INR Studios for having us out. If you want to do a podcast, you live in the Philly, Delco, Delaware, Jersey area, check it out. Maura, again, she has Fairy Garden Mindset. She sells clothes and shrooms probably. I don't know what she does on her off time. Novak, check out his fake cock. Where can we find this fake cock porn?
It's you can't. I'm not promoting that.
We are not promoting fake cocks.
I draw the line. Some things are too
so
far.
Many
That's
things.
Fucking one of them.
No more. And
you can find it if you really want to. Okay.
Somebody send us the link to that because I want to see a fake cock. Robbie, you can hit the button. Thank you.
No, it was a real cock.
No, it was his real cock the first time.
But it was also a real cock the second time, just not his.
Yeah, it wasn't
real cock.
It was like you coming in and standing next to me.
Our cocks would be similar.
No.